Yes, hello, welcome to Lily's Football Stadium as Blacktown City FC tackle Sydney Olympic on a pleasant winter afternoon, 20 degrees, no real breeze to speak of. Fairly ideal conditions for these players today. This one, 3rd versus 8th on the table. Blacktown City FC, of course, in 3rd spot. Sydney Olympic, the reigning champions, they sit in 8th spot. Olympic failing to win in their last 4 matches, while Blacktown have won their last 4 in a row. Contrasting fortunes between these two sides. For Olympic, at least, a chance to perhaps change that with 3 points this afternoon. Look at the lineups. We'll start with Blacktown City FC. And Tristan Prendergast is in goal for them. Grant Lynch, Matt Lewis, Daniel Araujo, Joey Gibbs, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Lachlan Campbell, Dakota Askew, Adam Berry, Leroy Jennings, and Daniel Breyer complete the starting side. The bench, Dylan Iskey, Daniel Collins, Dale Horworth, Mason Verzi, and William Much, the coach, of course, Mark Crittenden. Sydney Olympic, Paul Henderson in goal for them, Thomas Whiteside, Mitchell Stamatelis, Nikola Koleski, Will Angel, Jason Madonis, Radovan Pavicevic, Harris Gaytatsis, Jinya Ann, Alejandro Sanchez, and Nick Satalios completes the starting side. The bench for Olympic today, Ezekiel Consoni, Zach McKenzie, Darcy Burgess, Michael Gaytatsis, and Peter Kakeris Abassad. The man in charge for Olympic. Adam Santarossa is my name. Thank you for your company for this Sunday afternoon, wherever you're watching. A reminder, you can have your say, jump into those comments below, or if you're on Twitter, use the hashtag NPL NSW. And of course, as you should know by now, every game live in 2019. See them all exactly where you're watching this one, the NPL New South Wales Facebook page or Football New South Wales YouTube page. This is one that many circle in the calendar. Two sides that have played in grand finals against each other in recent years have certainly been finals contenders. Blacktown are certainly that in 2019. Sydney Olympic, well, they have some work to do. Fastly sliding down the table. Without a win in their last 4 in the league. They were bundled out of the FFA Cup midweek 2 by Marconi. So not going to plan for the defending champions. So underway here, Blacktown against Sydney Olympic. Blacktown well and truly on a roll. Olympic on the slide. A big 3 points in the context of finals at least. So Will Angel cuts that one out. Madonis. Gaytatsis did well to keep it in, trying to place Sanchez in. You wonder what the confidence is like for Olympic, particularly given recent results. Here's Junior Ant. Looks pretty good early. Passes are sticking and looking to get in behind. Blacktown living dangerously in the end. St. Clair, Joey Gibbs doing his best to chase. Haven't found the goals this year. Actually the 9th best in front of goal, despite the fact they sit 3rd on the table, Blacktown. But in saying that, they have 8 in their last 2 games, 4 in each of them. So perhaps goal-scoring boots are on, and there is an issue here for Sydney Olympic. Jason Madonis down on the pitch. Just turning and collapsing. Looks to be perhaps a knee or an ankle injury, and that's definitely not what they want. Having had a number of players battle injuries already this season, used the full complement of players in their first team squad. And they had done that by about round 6, given the early season injuries they had to contend with. Madonis limps away, shaking his head. Certainly not a good sign. They do have options on the bench, Zach McKenzie being one of them, Michael Gaytatsis, Darcy Burgess, Whatever happened in the off-season, they've certainly not had their luck here in 2019. Madonis is going to come back, so that's a good sign for our visitors today. Here is Madonis getting his touch. Whiteside. All the way back to Henderson. Scuffs his clearance. Tied it up. No surprise by Lewis. Now Blacktown can motor. Daniel Bragg. Trying to link with Daniel Arroyo. See Blacktown surging forward. Olympic midfield. A little pedestrian so far in the opening 3 minutes. Need to scamper that one clear. They eventually do that, Olympic. Here is Bragg. Scored 2 penalties last weekend against Sydney United. His first 2 goals of the year. Askew trying to link with Leroy Jennings, but just breaks down. Certainly doesn't feel like a winter's day here in Sydney. Sun shining. No complaints from these players, given some of the conditions they've contended with in the last fortnight. Here's Campbell, team of the week last round in the NPL New South Wales. Now Lynch, looking to link with Lewis, but Pavicevic read it well. Lewis again. It's that experience, been part of this side for so long. They have lost a lot of players this year, but keep that spine of Lewis, Arroyo, Gibbs. Grant Lynch as well defensively. Large part of why they are still where they are. Here's Jennings. Free kick. Lynch now. Trying to step up. Had Bragg with him. Couldn't find it. Now they can break. Sanchez looks up. No one in front of him. Spaniard will have to do it on his own. Trying to get to the byline. Cross isn't a bad one. Well, Satalios made more out of it than most thought. Sanchez. First real sight of him. And just thumps it clear. Satalios playing more advanced role than we normally used to seeing him. He is so versatile. Here's Gatatsis. Plenty of options. Whiteside, the one he goes with. Can he provide a cross? Good ball in. Satalios, a menace again. Thought he was fouled in the build-up, the Olympic players, but referee says no, we'll have a goal kick. Already we're seeing the threat of Satalios down that flank. I mentioned Blacktown's goal-scoring fortune. Sydney Olympic generally have no trouble scoring goals, but they need someone to help out Alejandro Sanchez because it's all him at the moment. He has 6 in their last 5, 11 this season. The next best is just 3. Jason Madonis, who got 2 of those in the first 2 weeks. So the Spaniard's certainly been doing it all on his own the last few weeks for Olympic. Here's Araujo. Skipping past Koleski. Can't lay a ball though. Olympic, no need to push the panic button just yet. 4 points out of the top 5. Defeat today, that gap will just widen more and more. Stamatellis has let Blacktown in here. Well, they needed better service to Jennings. It was 4-on-2 at the back. If it settled for him. And a sigh of relief. Olympic and Stamatellis. Traditionally, these two teams don't bring the goals when they come together. Both games last season, just a goal between them. Here's Whiteside. In fact, Stamatellis had Whiteside in front of him. Went with Pavicevic and in the end goes in a touch. Here is Campbell. Patient build-up from Blacktown. Campbell now likes to get forward. Surging through three Olympic defenders. Almost sat up and he almost found Joey Gibbs one-on-one. It's getting a little all too easy for Blacktown to break through that midfield of Olympic. Not for the first time in the opening 9 minutes. Henderson trying to find Sanchez, but Pavicevic flick on. Can't link with the Spaniard. Just looking through the form guide in recent weeks. Blacktown, 1-0 win over Marconi in round 10. Round 11, 1-0 over Hokoa. And then a 4-1 win over Mount Druitt Town. Of course, big result last weekend, 4-2 at Sydney United 58. Jennings. Last month, probably the best team in the competition. Although Wollongong Wolves fans may dispute that. Araujo had two to beat. In the end, Olympic win out. Sanchez tried to be a little bit too cute with that flick. Here's Araujo. Has Lewis with him. Blacktown getting numbers forward. Gibbs in the area. Here's Askew. Bragg will continue his run forward. Olympic do a good job of getting numbers behind the ball. It's frustrating Blacktown. They're forced to go all the way back to Prendergast. Askew. See the urgency of Prendergast in goal for Blacktown, urging a bit more movement from his midfield. Try and stretch this Olympic side. Askew, good switch, picks out Lewis. Has Gonzalez there. It's that final third where things start to break down. Olympic, one of the better defences in the competition. It's really the only place they haven't had injury concerns so far this year. Been able to keep it fairly settled week in, week out. At least that pairing of Whiteside and Stamatellis. Jennings has it for Blacktown. Loves to run at defenders. Important tackle from Junior Ann. Now Sanchez is away. It's that counter that Olympic will look for. It's all a bit one-dimensional at times though. Here's Araujo. Gibbs dropping deep to get on the ball. Now Lewis. For the threat of Gonzalez and Gibbs in the area. Well cut out by Junior Ann. We'll try and keep you updated from elsewhere. Of course, host of games around the league right now. Certainly a festive football for the June long weekend. Gibbs tried to peel off all. Junior Ann thought he left it short for his goalkeeper, and Joey Gibbs, the eyes lit up. Stamatellis links with Koleski. See Blacktown happy to just sit off and give them that first pass. Bragg now. Jennings lets it run. It's going to work out for Askew. He's got Junior Ann on his heels. Drives well to the byline. Has he got the end product? Delivery's great. Joey Gibbs just couldn't quite find a header. Here's Blacktown applying the pressure. Fairly entertaining opening 13 and a half minutes. Throw will go to Olympic. It's a reasonable crowd in here at Lily's Football Stadium for this Sunday afternoon. We have had goals elsewhere. Marconi 1-0 over Sydney FC. All other games still scoreless. Here's Satalios. As we are, Blacktown 0, Sydney Olympic 0. Here's Stamatellis. Pavicevic, too hot to handle for Koleski. Here's Pavicevic again. Just opens things up. Junior Ann has it. No real movement again. Satalios. Nice link play with Junior Ann, but Leroy Jennings had other ideas. Koleski. Look for him around edge of the 18-yard box. Has scored some spectacular goals this year. Has been in and out of the side, though, at times. Well kept in by Harris Gatatsis. Can he provide the service straight at Prendergast? Here's Askew. Vision again. Been one of the standouts so far for Blacktown. Opening quarter. Here's Campbell. Lynch now. Campbell looking to pick a pass. Does like to step forward and join his midfield, but option there from Gonzalez. Stamatellis. Pavicevic links with Sanchez, but just can't keep it in. Just haven't strung passes together so far, Olympic. Still 0-0 in Wollongong between the Wolves and City United 58. So too here at Lily's Football Stadium. Can Olympic change that have the advantage if they can move it quickly. Pavicevic finds Setalios. Now Madonis. Oh, his touch let him down, the Olympic captain. Both teams settled nicely into this one, but you sense there's probably another gear to get into. Turnover. Stalios rode the tackle well. Kaleski got the ball. Did come from behind. Gives it straight back to Blacktown, so perhaps some justice in that. Olympic hand it straight back. Here's Pavicevic, does well. Gets past Lewis. Now Olympic have some room to move. Surging forward, they go into the area. Sanchez is there. Across the face. No one really inside the area. Sanchez was on the edge of the 18. Adonis couldn't find him. Here's Lewis. Araujo will win the throw for Blacktown. We spoke about the Blacktown form guide earlier, the Olympic form guide. Well, they haven't won since round 9. 3-1 win over Marconi. Since then, draw against Sydney United 58. A loss to Sydney FC. Heavy defeat to the Sutherland Sharks. And a draw with Mount Druitt Town last round. Throw in a loss midweek in the FFA Cup. Here's a chance though. Important touch from Whiteside. Took it off the boot of Emmanuel Gonzalez. And they'll have to settle for a corner. So first set piece for the Olympic defence to contend with. Going to ask you to take. Look for Grant Lynch in the air. Joey Gibbs there too. So it's been Blacktown that have been applying the pressure. Can they get a result? Delivery isn't bad. Oh, Lynch, the man I spoke about. More or less a clear header. Take two for Blacktown. Olympic struggling to get organised defensively. I'll get another corner. I don't know that Olympic knew too much about it, but they were able to get bodies in the way. Keep hold of their clean sheet for now. So pressure starting to mount for Blacktown. Can they get their reward? They go far post this time. Lynch hangs it up. Henderson makes the claim. Waste little time trying to pick out Setalios. Askew seems to be everywhere at the moment. Number 17 for Blacktown. As is this man, Campbell. And just as I gave him a wrap, Dakota Askew. This ball goes to no one in particular. So Henderson has it for Olympic. If you are just tuning in, Adam Santarossa here with you in commentary. It is Blacktown City FC 0, Sydney Olympic 0. Blacktown probably had the better of the chances, although nothing clear-cut as yet for either side. Can Olympic change that here? Pavicevic. Whiteside. Delivery's good again. Setalios is there. Oh, Prendergast did enough, but not convincing. Chose to punch. So now it's Olympics' turn to put some pressure on Blacktown. Here's Junior Ant. Does well to fight his way to the byline. Delivery's good too. Sanchez there. Pavicevic. Well, they want a corner. Referee says no. Last touch was from Pavicevic and wasn't too far away. And Jason Madonis, the captain, going to get a talking to. No cards for either team as yet. Bit of a hush over Lily's football stadium. At least from everyone that doesn't have a drum kit. Gibbs chests it well into the path of Araujo. Sheer numbers from Olympic win out though. Lynch has Lewis with him. Tries to thread it for Gibbs, but Stamatellis gets across well. Gonzalez, fight on between he and Whiteside. And gives away a free kick in the end. Shrug of the shirt from Emmanuel Gonzalez. Updates from elsewhere. It is still 1-0 between Marconi and Sydney FC. Still no goals down there in Wollongong between the Wolves and Sydney United 58. Stamatellis. Taken well. Satalios, intelligent header. Sanchez going to try it. What about the block though from Campbell? That's why he's in the team of the week last round. Sanchez had one thought when it sat up, was shoot. Already has 11 this year. There's Pavicevic. Wins the header well. He's lacking support at times. Radovan. So the opening 25 minutes hasn't provided goals as yet. Adam Santarossi here with you. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching. Around the world, can Blacktown change that here? Jennings looking to provide the service. Good ball in. Gibbs only needed a touch, but it's an Olympic one that concedes the corner and keeps us at 0-0.
Blacktown City would like to thank its sponsors.
Credit the ball of Leroy Jennings. Got his head up well, and Joey Gibbs, ever the poacher, almost certain to finish that off if Olympic don't get in the road. Still Blacktown though. Chance at the set piece. Gonzalez to take. Goes near post this time. Comes all the way through to Lynch. And he can't get over the volley. This game's starting to open up. We've had chances at both ends these last couple of minutes. Struggled to find its groove, but sense both sides well and truly in that now. Satalios keeps it in well. Set up here for Gatatsis. Needs to get a move on, but pressure of Araujo wins out. Now they can break Blacktown. They have numbers too. Jennings. It's Gonzalez and Gibbs on the far post, but Three players from Olympic shut him down, and Koleski relieves all the pressure with a free kick. Here's Stamatellis. Too much to deal with for Sanchez. Did his best though. Now Lewis and Pavicevic fighting hard, but in the end, it's the experienced Blacktown defender wins possession. Well, Angels left that one short. Stamatellis did well though. Pavicevic 2-on-2 at the back. Huge chance. Jennings links with Gibbs. Will he go on his own? Sets it in the path. Daniel Bragg. Henderson makes the save. Well, scored his first 2 goals last weekend, Daniel Bragg. Very nearly a chance at a third there. All of a sudden, he's a goal-scoring machine. Not on that occasion. Here he is again, though. They are living dangerously at the back, Olympic. Don't want to hand chances like that to Blacktown. Here's Madonis. Well read by Lynch. Stood up and one possession back. Here he is closing down Henderson, the centre back. Madonis. Pavicevic. Sotalios, does he drive to goal? Have a pop on his own. Sets it for Ant. Not dealt with, still there for Olympic. In the end, hacked clear by Bragg. So half an hour mark, just about there. This half about to tick into the final quarter of an hour of it. Both sides enjoying probably the best period this last 5 or so minutes. Chances at both ends, but still no goals. Flick on from Sanchez. Might just hit here for Gatatsis. Wins a corner. No. Goal kick. Still goalless at Wynn Stadium between Wollongong and Sydney United 58. Marconi still enjoying a 1-0 lead at Marconi Stadium. Not too far from here at Lilies, where it is Blacktown City FC 0, Sydney Olympic 0. These two sides have met already this season back in round 3. It was a 3-3 draw in that one. Very unlike these two sides when they come together. 6 goals in that game. 4 meetings before that contained just 1 goal. It was Olympic that got out of jail there at Belmore in round 3. A late goal by Koleski, rescuing a point. Just sense we're not going to see 6 goals this afternoon. Much more at a premium. Here is Koleski. Trying to stand up Jennings. Pavicevic. Oh, important touch there from Lynch because Sanchez was almost away. Have kept him more or less under wraps. Blacktown so far. As I mentioned earlier, 6 goals in his last 5 games in the NPL New South Wales and 11 for the season. Tends to make things happen when he does get on the ball, Alejandro Sanchez. There he is, the Spaniard, trying to help it on. Oh, Gatatsis putting the pressure on Lynch. So too Prendergast. Keeper does well though. Body scatter in the grandstand. Here's Junior Ant. Trying to find the run. Gatatsis in the area, having a shot too. Side netting. Probably the best chance Olympic have had. Still unable to force the save out of Prendergast. Here's Campbell. Gibbs, too much on that one. Junior Ant. Again, they like to live dangerously defensively. Wouldn't advise it with the likes of Gibbs and Jennings around. Here is Gatatsis. All the way back to Henderson. Blacktown just clogging up those passing lanes, stopping the movement of Olympic. Sotalios trying to link for Sanchez, but again, that bounce of the ball goes away from him. Riders tuning in. Blacktown City FC 0, Sydney Olympic 0. Bragg links well with Lewis. Now Gibbs thought he might pull the trigger. Opens it up for Jennings though. Chance for Blacktown. Will he skip onto the left? Jennings on the right. Good save from Henderson. Still there for Blacktown. Araujo off the crossbar. Well, you won't come closer than that. Best chance we've had in the opening 34 minutes. It's, again, Blacktown putting on the pressure, but yet to have a reward. And Olympics certainly have to tighten up on Leroy Jennings. Two of the best chances Blacktown have had. He's been heavily involved in both. Here he is on the ball with Araujo, man who just struck the woodwork. Gonzalez, 3-on-2 at the back. This is a huge chance for Blacktown. Oh, Jennings went without it. Entirely over for Blacktown, but now Olympic get it away. That's one they'd like to have over the home side. Olympic do still look a little rattled though. Jennings, down the left flank he goes. Does he have support through the middle? Araujo, going to try it. Daniel Araujo, but skews his shot. Not on target. Well, this game certainly has come to life. Last 2 or so minutes. Sanchez wanted a free kick, but referee was centimetres away. Junior Ann just clatters into Leroy Jennings. Olympic off on the break, but pass unable to find Pavicevic. Been quite the battle down that flank between he and Matt Lewis today. To say Lewis getting the points decision. We've had goals everywhere. Sydney United leading Wollongong by a goal to 0. Marconi extending their lead over Sydney FC. They lead 2-0. And Apia with an early goal over Sutherland. They lead 1-0. Can we get a go at Lilies to take us to the break? Araujo linking with Gibbs. Still there. Won't sit for Gonzalez though. Or in the end, flag up. We'll keep you updated as best we can. Junior Ann now for Olympic. Stamatelis. Koleski. Thought he got himself in a spot of bother, but worked out anyway. Here's Satalios. Gatatsis. Can give a return ball to Satalios. Win a corner anyway. So we edge closer to half-time. Blacktown have come the closest. Be very Olympic-like if they can score on against the run of play. Was the trend last year. Can it continue? Delivery's good. It was Sanchez's header. No one could get the finishing touch though on the far post.
Blacktown City would like to thank its sponsors: Sydney Frames and Trusses, Taurus Scaffolding, A&M Design, Toro Cranes, and Advanced Ready Mix.
Well, looking at the body language of both coaches, it's Abasad the more lively, up and about in his area. Satalios, Madonis, here's a chance for them. They've got numbers. Madonis continues his run. He's going to go on his own. Madonis. Good luck breaking down the wall of Grant Lynch, though. It is another corner. All of a sudden, Olympic starting to take control of it. And a half largely where I feel Blacktown have been in command. Hit the woodwork. More chances than the visitors. It's about the chances you take, though. Can Olympic take one here? Delivery to the near post to Gatatsis. I'll win a throw. So we go inside the final 5 minutes of normal time in the first half here at Lilies Football Stadium. Blacktown City FC 0, Sydney Olympic 0. Koleski, Whiteside. There's Pavicevic with him. Goes inboard to Gatatsis, room to move. Thought he might go on his own. Might sit up here though. For Madonis. Scored in that game in round 3 at Belmore. And gets fortunate in the end. All comes to nothing. Reminder, you can have your say. Jump into the comments below, or if you are on Twitter, use the hashtag NPL NSW. Go through some of them at halftime. Always entertaining the comments. Koleski won the header, but fell to the feet of Gonzalez, and they'll get a throw too. Bragg. Araujo goes without. Whiteside. Trying to find Sanchez. Might sit here for Pavicevic. Campbell wins it back and then puts up a bomb. He wins it anyway. I've been very impressed with Lachlan Campbell so far today. As I mentioned earlier, he was in the NPL New South Wales Team of the Week last round. Not responsible for those votes, but probably would get one from me so far. Here's Tataliosto. Can he turn the tie back to Olympic? Madonis. Eyes lighting up. Pavicevic. Fighting well to the byline. Cuts it back nicely, but it's all Daniel Bragg and Blacktown. They hand it back. Junior Ant to put it in the mixer. Oh, trying to find the run of Sanchez, but fortunately for Blacktown, it wasn't quite centimetre perfect. So just 2 minutes of normal time remaining. We haven't had too many stoppages so far, so I wouldn't imagine we'll play much additional time. Commanding header there from Stamatellis. Won it well for his side. And as they reflect at half-time, they'll look back on that chance from Arroyo that slammed against the crossbar, and Joey Gibbs pass from Jennings. He was just a touch away from giving them the lead. Can they, in fact, find it here? Gibbs. Important tackle from Will Angel, but another corner conceded. Another job to do before they get to the break Olympic. Seen already. Grant Lynch has been the target. So closing seconds of the half. Can Blacktown strike from the set piece? They go near post. Campbell's there. Take two for Blacktown. Delivery's good again. The header from Leroy Jennings. Can't force a save out of Henderson. So all eyes go to the fourth official. See how more we will play here in the first half, but wouldn't say more than a minute or so. We did have Jason Madonis go down in the opening few moments, but just catching a glance at the board, he only has a minute on it. So confirmation.
The fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time.
Here is Arroyo. So it looks as though it's going to be a stalemate at half-time. The game certainly has livened up these last 15 or so minutes. Chances at both ends, but Blacktown enjoying the better. They really should be in front, given some of those chances they've had, but they may yet pay a price for that. Jennings. Oh, touch was heavy, but rode the tackle well. Still there for Leroy Jennings. And the cries from Blacktown. Fans were pass it. May just run out of time, Olympic. Can they race down the other end? 4-on-4 at the moment. Pavicevic. Thought he might pull the trigger. Gatatsis looking to do that. Gatatsis got it out from under his feet well, but couldn't trouble Prendergast. And that is half-time here at Lily Holmes Stadium. As I said, both sides have had the chances, but neither unable to break the stalemate so far. Blacktown the best chance. They struck the woodwork, unable to find the back of the net. Half-time, Blacktown City FC 0, Sydney Olympic 0. in terms of their chances, coming the closest to breaking the deadlock, hitting the crossbar through Daniel Araujo, but Olympic, they had their moments as well. Nothing really clear-cut from them, but Haris Gaitatsis hitting the side netting, probably as close as they came. But it's the first half that, well, they could go to another gear, but certainly it improved in quality as it went on. I think it's the best way to say it. Excuse me. Adam Santarossa here with you. Reminder that you can have your say too. Jump into the comments below. Always eager to hear your thoughts on the game. And if you're on Twitter, use that hashtag NPL NSW. Coming into this one, it was Sydney Olympic in 8th spot on the table. Blacktown in 3rd spot and eyeing off 1st spot. Currently held by the Wollongong Wolves. And, well, they are helped at the moment by the fact that Sydney United 58 are in front down there at Wynn Stadium against the Wolves. So that margin at the top may just be cut slightly. Just an update while we have a moment. It is 1-0 to Sydney United. Marconi against Sydney FC. They lead 4-0. And Apia on top of the Sutherland Sharks by 2-1 in that one as well. Keep you updated as we can throughout the next 45 minutes, but all our focus, of course, here at Lilies as the sun starts to set. As we get set for the second 45. Olympic do the honours. They want goals. They're trying to arrest their slide down the table. Here's Sanchez. Not going to plan for the reigning champions so far. Title defence, though, still well and truly intact. And with some of the signings we've seen from clubs beneath them, Sutherland Sharks being the main case in point, there will be some late charges or two. Strong challenge there from Angel. Has support ahead. Gaitatsis, one of them. Gaitatsis. Well, Sanchez got in the way and he was offside. Angel again, getting stuck in, winning possession for Olympic. No one to throw to. Just about on halfway. No free kick. Satalios will play on. Sanchez with him. In the end, well managed once more from Askew. Here's Lewis. Gonzalez. Trying to skip past Whiteside. Run its way to Gibbs. He's brought down surely. And the free kick is coming. They played in a pretty good spirit so far. No cards for either side. So have had quite the rivalry. Sides that have certainly been in the top 5 consistently over the last few seasons. Many expected Blacktown to not quite be in the mix this year, but haven't they dispelled that so far? Host of players departing, but they just keep on keeping on, getting the results. Haven't exactly lit the world on fire in terms of goals, but if you're getting results, it doesn't really matter in the end, does it? Olympic are a good case in point for that. It's Blacktown on the charge. Wouldn't sit for Araujo, and in the end does give away a free kick. Olympic have been finding the back of the net with regularity, but not quite the results So it's not always about the goals. Junior Ann links with Madonis. Here's Gaitatsis, being the more influential of the Olympic players so far. Whiteside trying to show his influence. Gaitatsis. Here's Koleski. Too much on that one. I think Mark Rittenden's men are pretty happy with their first half. They just would have liked to take one or two of those opportunities. It's Olympic though. Seem to be on top since half-time. Well kept in. We'll get a throw. Madonis. Okay, Tats has hemmed against the sideline. Somehow kept it in. Managed to link Virginia Ant. So Talios runs into a Blacktown wall. Now Araujo has room to move. Links well with Berry. Likewise Gibbs, they'll get a free kick. Is this the first card today? No. Once again, Koleski just a talking to. In fact, it was Will Angel, the one spoken to. Switch things to Lewis. Here's Lynch now for Blacktown. Tempo isn't that high. I feel we could shift things up a gear. Here's Gibbs. Whiteside. Attempted clearance. Well won by Sanchez. Olympic need to find a way to get him more involved. Haven't seen too much of him in that first half. Well marshalled at the back by Campbell and Lynch. That's a good ball though. Pavicevic in behind. Can he find a teammate? Here's a chance. Madonna, good save from Prendergast. It was point blank and he did it well. Well, the first time we've seen Olympic really put it together. And Madonis, if you're critical, probably should have gone either side. Took some saving anyway. Junior Ant to provide the delivery. Still a chance at the set piece for the visitors. For Stamatellis. Nearly came all the way to him. Araujo will have it. Satalios adamant, he won the throw. Just be told to just cut him a little. Oh, Gibbs and Whiteside. Free kick will go to Blacktown, I think. Probably should have just been play on. They both collected each other going for the ball. Anyway, Fortune in for Blacktown. Lewis finds Joey Gibbs. Both strikers really haven't seen too much from them in terms of opportunities. It's two number 8s that have come close. Araujo hitting the bar. And Madonis, the chance we saw just a moment or so ago. It's a corner though. This time for Blacktown. Once again, look for Grant Lynch. Joey Gibbs, the penalty spot as well. Set piece isn't normally an avenue to goal, but I'll take it anyway. It comes this afternoon. Can't beat the first defender. I'll get a second chance at it. Just wait on the ball. Chance for Olympic to get organised defensively. Go to the far post this time. They hang it up there. Henderson forced to save. It was Campbell that won it in the air. And it's going to be yet another corner. And they had plenty of time to organise themselves Olympic, but somehow Campbell managed to peel off at the far post. Is he the target again? As Blacktown keep banging on the door. Once again, they hang it up to the far post. Numbers around the area. Askew putting it back in the mixer. Can he pick out a teammate? All Olympic there, though. Araujo. Thought he might just go for goal. We'll build it up again through Bragg. Campbell, flag stays down. Chance for Blacktown off the post again. And the free kick relieves things for Olympic, but, well, Lachlan Campbell had the opportunity to be the hero, and it was only a centimetre or two in it.
Blacktown City would like to thank its sponsors: LBF Concrete, Millar's Doors and Timber, Lily Homes.
Oh, the woodwork denies them for the second time. Araujo hitting the bar in the first half. Now Campbell hits the post. Had Henderson beaten. Just couldn't beat the woodwork. As Paul Henderson tries the oldest trick in the book, trying to promote the ball a couple of metres. Here's Angel. Well, again, Blacktown, maybe one of those moments they look back on. If the result doesn't go their way, it's Pavicevic. Pounces on the loose ball. Gatatsis. Once again, Grant Lynch. So reliable defensively, as is that man, Stamatellis. Credit to the defences of both sides. We haven't really seen them open up. Stamatellis in the end concedes the throw, and you wonder when both may look to their bench. Blacktown have Mason Versey they can turn to. William Much as well, former Sydney FC youth player. Sydney Olympic have some options too, likes of Darcy Burgess. Delivery's good, Gibbs there, but Olympic just let it run clear. Again, that final third just haven't found the target. Michael Gatatsis an option, Peter Kakeris too. But if we're talking a spark, looking at both benches, I think Mason Versey is probably the pick of them. I think he might be about to come on as well. Lewis placed under pressure from Pavicevic. And in the end, the pressure pays off. We may get that change. So we wait to see what the board does say. I think it's going to be Emmanuel Gonzalez to make way, but we'll get confirmation of that. Whiteside delivery. Sanchez inventive. Might sit up for Gatatsis, although Lynch was casual in cleaning up. They got the job done in the end. So Blacktown are first to react. We are going to get that change, so it is going to be Emmanuel Gonzalez to make way.
Blacktown City, coming off number 11, Emmanuel Gonzalez, to be replaced by number 15, Mason Versey.
There you go, Mason Versey, man I spoke about to come on. So Mark Crittenden, the first man to react. And I like the change. Versey does add a bit of pace, a bit of trickery to it for this last 31 minutes of normal time. Game is begging to be opened up. Can he be the man to provide it? He's Bragg. Touch was heavy from Askew, but wins the throw anyway. Once again, unlike Blacktown, key mistakes. Handing possession back. Satalios finds Pavicevic. Madonna's ahead of him. Satalios has continued his run. Thought he was blocked out of it, but referee says play on. It's Blacktown who have numbers. Araujo, good release. Angels across there. Oh, he's clipped the man. What colour will the card be? Just a yellow for Olympic. Pulled down Leroy Jennings. And here's a moment for the home side to try and create something from the set piece. First card of the afternoon goes to Will Angel. So they've hit bar and post. Still no goals for the home side. Can they change it? I think Versey will go on his own. I'll tell you what, Sanchez got in the way of his keeper. Not all that convincing. Don't want a striker doing defensive duties. They've come away unscathed anyway, but just for a second, a few hearts fluttering. So to Prendergast. Casual in clearing that ball. So Marconi still doing the job. They lead 4-0. Plenty of goals there, not quite at Lilies as Sanchez gets in behind. Can he keep it in? Lays it up for Prendergast. It's been a frustrating hour here for Sanchez. Haven't really seen him in full flight as yet, but as we know, he only needs half a chance. So Askew is smart, getting in behind. Jennings there too. Will he go on his own? Jennings, room to move. Leaves it for Versey, and again, Blacktown just the wrong option where it's needed in that final third. Build-up was good again, but lacked the final product. Pavicevic. Strong challenge again from Lewis, this time denying Whiteside. Now Lewis, he can motor forward. No Olympic player that keen to close him down. Versey, mentioned he loves to run at players. Jinking onto his left, into the area he goes. Can he find someone? Pullback's a good one. Challenge in the area, needed to win the ball, and Will Angel did exactly that. Would almost set up nicely for the home side. Olympic going to make a change of their own in this game. Suddenly, just starting to stretch. Open things up a little. And Pavicevic embarrassed a little there from Lewis. Blacktown breaking away. 4-on-4 for the moment. Got numbers. Lewis continued his run. Can he provide the finish? Versey going to try it. Not a bad effort, but scuffing the shot. And so change coming now for Olympic. Nick Satalios has ended his shift for the day. And it's going to be Peter Kakaris to come on.
Substitution for Sydney Olympic. Coming off number 33, Nicholas Satalios, to be replaced by number 44, Peter Kakaris.
So handy option to call upon when you're at 0-0. No Dimi Petratos to turn to. He's turned into somewhat of a super sub this year at times. Kakaris trying to make an impact. Sets up here nicely for Madonis. Into the area he goes. Gets in behind. Kakaris is there. Oh, Madonis, that extra touch just took it away. Still a corner though. It's going to be Kakaris to take. So Blacktown all of a sudden have to sort things out in their own area. Kakaris goes near post. All the way back to Junior Ant. Galeski. Just dealt a little too long. And it may sit here for Blacktown. Credit Galeski. Did well to scuff out the danger. Both sides guilty of misfiring at times in front of goal. You sense it's another one of those games where it'll just be one that splits these sides. Berry put under pressure from Sanchez. Came off injured, of course, against Mount Druitt last round, but did play during the week in that FFA Cup game. Prendergast hasn't helped things. Here's a chance. Gatatsis. Well done, Grant Lynch, though, in cover. Was one-on-one in the area, and it was won by the Blacktown man in Lynch. Here's Junior Ant. Koleski. Pavicevic. Again, touch lets him down. Now it's Blacktown that can break. They've got numbers too. Jennings, support in the middle. Gibbs is one of them. Too long again from Leroy Jennings. Needed to move it quicker in the end. Just ran out of options. Still all Blacktown though, surging forward. Campbell, Jennings, flag stays down, Gibbs a chance. Oh, Henderson makes the save, still there for Gibbs. And finally it's in for Blacktown. Well, the chances continue to mount. They've hit the bar, the post, and everything else in between. But finally, Joey Gibbs hits the back of the net, and Blacktown have the lead.
Goal for Blacktown City by number 9, Joey Gibbs. The current score is Blacktown City FC 1, Sydney Olympic FC 0.
And once again, you've got to credit the work of Lachlan Campbell, central defender in an advanced role. It's intelligent little back heel. Kept Olympic stretched defensively, and well, Henderson made a good save initially, but rebound fell straight to the feet of Gibbs, and a striker of his quality doesn't need to be asked twice. He'll help himself to another goal, and Daniel Bragg is going to make way for Daniel Collins. Second change for Blacktown. And well, Olympic season continues to slide. No wins in their last 4. 5 if you include the FFA Cup. Could very well be 6.
Off number 23, Daniel Bragg, to be replaced by number 3, Daniel Collins.
Just confirmation of that change. And once again, it's Olympic that have to pull things out of the fire. Good touch there, though, from Gatatsis. Once again, breaks down. Just seemed to lack that spark they had last year, when they do get an eye for goal, it's not shoot on sight. Sort of caught in two minds. Pavicevic does well to win a corner. Case in point there, Jason Madonna's nothing really on. Just go for goal. Instead tried to look for a pass. But as we've seen in this competition, fortunes can change very quickly. Can Olympic change things here? Oh, they can in fact! It's Radovan Pavicevic. Powers in a header. He's had a frustrating afternoon. That will help the cause. And just after going behind, they snatch an equaliser back. A little slack defensively from Blacktown. And Pavicevic makes it 1-1. And we're in for a final 20 minutes at Lilies. All of a sudden, looked like we wouldn't see a goal. We've seen two in 2 minutes thereabouts. Topsy-turvy affair. Turns again, and it's turning back to Blacktown here. Verzi links with Lewis. Gibbs on the scene. Oh, important header from Will Angel. Number 9 was lining up for it. Araujo. Both defences starting to tire. Opportunities presenting themselves. Verzi to the edge of the area. Skips onto that left. All the way back to Lewis. Is there an unproduct? Jennings is there! Oh, it opened up nicely for Blacktown. And Jennings just had to do better. Chances that sometimes don't get any better than that. Just couldn't direct it on goal. Been good today, Leroy Jennings. So if you are just tuning in, it is Blacktown City FC 1, Sydney Olympic 1. Joey Gibbs and Radovan Pavicevic, the two number 9s on the goal sheet so far. Is there more goals to add to that list? Here is Jennings. Hard to miss in those orange boots, and well, certainly hasn't been missed there from Koleski. He's going in the book. Second Olympic player to see yellow. And looks as though Zach McKenzie may be preparing himself to come on for Olympics, so we'll watch carefully there. Once again, it's Olympics' turn to try and organise defensively. Can Blacktown take the lead back? Will Collins clashes heads with Whiteside. On a corner. Certainly left a mark on the Olympic defender. In fact, it is going to be a throw. Lewis to the byline. Crosses a good one. Gibbs' header. Can't direct it on target though. Try and update you with those scores elsewhere when we get a moment. Well, one again from Collins in the air. Head heavily bandaged, but it's fallen all of a sudden to Sanchez. Haven't seen too much of him today. And that's why Blacktown kept him well marshalled. 1-1 at Wynn Stadium all of a sudden between Wollongong and Sydney United. Likewise here, of course, Marconi 4, Sydney FC 1, and Apia leading the Sutherland Sharks by 2-1. So intriguing fixtures. All the highlights of those. NPL NSW Facebook page and, of course, the YouTube of Football New South Wales in the coming days. Can also watch them live as well, but we don't want you turning your attention away from this one. So 16 minutes remaining. So time for either side to find a winner. I thought one goal would be enough. Olympic said no. Blacktown had the lead for all of 2 minutes. It's Ann. Sanchez, intelligent, Madonis. Gaitatsis or Pavicevic. Would have had some work to do, but just couldn't find him. Here's Berry. Good vision to find Verzi, but just lacking the execution. And coming back for a card, Harris Gaitatsis to receive it. Maybe just a bit of lip. Becomes the third Olympic player to go in the book. The sun just about set here at Blacktown. Light starting to take effect as well. Pavicevic. Lynch goes long, letting Verzi chase, but flag up for offside. So no movement on the Olympic bench in terms of that second change. Madonis. Once again, Sanchez hardly really had a look in today. Well, kept under control from both Campbell and Lynch. Jennings, can he turn things back into Blacktown's favour? Jinking, he was chopped down by Junior Ann. He may become the fourth player to go into the book. Just a caution for the moment. Has given them a free kick though. Dangerous part of the pitch. And I think you'll find Abbassad. He'll get a card. The Olympic coach. For something he said concerning that foul. So it's a chance for Blacktown. Henderson trying to organise a two-man war. Take some scoring from this kind of range, but given the angle, but look for them to try and tee up the likes of Campbell. Going to go to goal. Oh, Henderson had to scramble. In the end, just catching the top of the Olympic goal. Still, we remain level at 1-1. Right idea, though, from Mason Verzi. Berry trying to find that man. All comes to nothing, though. So fingernails starting to get short among both Olympic and Blacktown supporters. They know how big these 3 points could be. These are the games that make the difference, both whether you make the top 5 and also contend for the premiership, which Blacktown are hoping to do. It's Collins. Campbell. Ian Lynch probably my pick today for Blacktown. Hasn't been too much happening in an attacking sense for either side, but that's a credit to what both sets of defenders have done. Here is Campbell. Turned over by Askew, but they got lucky. Collins. Lewis goes inboard, finding Berry, starting to make an impact, as is this man, Mason Verzi. Araujo. Nice build up from Blacktown. Jennings has it. Do they have the end result in them this time? Jennings jinking. Verzi. Oh, nearly set up for him. Lewis with the shot. Olympic. Ragged, but hanging in there. Verzi. Araujo. Nice link between he and Lewis. Can he keep it in? In the byline. Cross is a good one. Gibbs fighting well. Jinking inside the area, but all comes to nothing. Olympic had numbers to deal with it, although a bit optimistic playing out from the back at 1-1. And Blacktown are going to make their third and final change. Lynch links well with Collins. So, confirmation of that change. It's going to be Leroy Jennings to make way.
Substitution for
Dale.
Blacktown City. Coming off number 22, Leroy Jennings, to be replaced by number 16, Dale Howarth.
So Dale Howarth will check in for a 10-minute cameo. And Blacktown have used all 3 subs to this point. You sense they're on top, if not on the scored line. It's Campbell. Links with Askew. Verzi. Got lucky. Olympic. Strong tackle anyway. Now they can break. Madonis. Important tackle there in cover from Collins. Here is Lewis. Who will it be to stand up? It is only round 14, but end of the season creeping up on everyone. You sense both of these sides where they finish come round 22. They'll look back at this one as having an impact, but Gibbs's ball needed to be better on that occasion. Kakaris was crunched off it. Olympic adamant it was a free kick. Referee doesn't agree. Probably a bit of justice there as the ball finds its way back to Kakaris. Dribbling, needing support. Good ball through. Here's a chance. Pavicevic. Well, he had to do better. Already won today. Can't make an impact on the target. Was a tired shot from the striker. Credit the work of Kakaris though. First time we've really seen him running at defenders. Just a moment where Blacktown have come unstuck defensively. Lynch and Campbell done a stellar job all day. It only takes a moment for Olympic to steal the points. Can they do that again as Gatatsis? That's come off a Blacktown player. So it will be a throw. 6.5 minutes of normal time remain. Blacktown 1, Sydney Olympic 1. Gatatsis fighting, but can't keep that one in. Heavy touch on Howarth. He's helped out by the fact they win a free kick on halfway, much to the chagrin of the Olympic fans here at Lilleys today. Araujo. Verzi. Verzi's ball in behind. Will it sit up here for Howarth? Goes across the face, needs a touch. Still there though for Blacktown. They'll win a corner. Well, you sense if someone's going to find a winner, it's going to be a half chance. And a bit of luck involved too. Both sides will take it any way it comes. Here's the set piece, the avenue to goal. Come close on the corner a few times today. Henderson punching, not convincing. Players scramble, bodies everywhere. Collins there. Henderson drops it a second time. Free kick though, bit of push and shove. And all comes to naught for Blacktown in the end. Well, very rarely you see that. Henderson flapping for a ball at the set piece and then fumbling it too, although was fouled in the process. Sense there are nerves around. Tense stuff here at Lilleys. Is there another twist or two to come? Free kick. Go the way of Olympic. And we saw Nikola Koleski score from maybe not quite this range, but well and truly downtown. Thought about it. Play it quickly. Too quick, in fact. Almost catching them napping. So inside the final 4 minutes. Madonis over the ball. Can he find a teammate? Not with that delivery. May still sit up for them though. Blacktown haven't dealt with it. Pavicevic just hangs it in the air. And Prendergast makes an easy save. Howarth does well. Under the challenge of Madonis. Going to go on his own. Trying to get inventive here. I'll tell you what, for a moment. Howarth, credit the ambition. And just for a moment, there were some Blacktown fans that were thinking that one was going to fall into the back of the net, but Henderson had it well covered in the end. Well, 1-1, probably a fair result. Blacktown fans willing their side on. They feel their team deserves to take all three home. Struck the woodwork and the post when it was 0-0. Madonis. Would be a heartbreaker if Blacktown don't take anything away. For the neutral, maybe a point is fair. Howarth dives in well. Some spirited tackles all of a sudden. Pavicevic. Madonis continues his run, the captain. Oh, Sanchez goes without. Can't forget about him. Hasn't had his greatest day out today, Sanchez, but can redeem himself with a goal. Oh, that's a nasty tackle in behind. And a card coming for Kakeris. No real complaints for the Olympic man, and that's now a 5th card for Olympic. Don't know how malicious that was, but certainly mistimed. And on a cool winter's night like this, certainly is going to sting. Now, Matt Lewis is going to get a talking to. He's probably suggesting that the card should have been a different colour, but to his credit, referee was right on the spot. Just updating you while we have the moment. It is 2-2 at Lambert Park between Apia and the Sutherland Sharks. Marconi have defeated Sydney FC 5-2 at Marconi. And Sydney United lead the Wollongong Wolves by 2-1. They have had a player sent off in the closing moments there. So, all happening in the NPL NSW. So we tick into additional time here. This injury will obviously give us about 2 or 3 minutes of additional time. Blacktown, of course, used all 3 changes, so they won't be able to play with the full 11. Araya looks to be okay, though, as he gets gingerly to his feet. Certainly clattered into by Kakaris. Well, I thought he was going to play on, but there's no sign of that, the way he's limping off the ground. So that will mean Blacktown will go down to 10. We're going to get 5 minutes.
Indicated that there will be a minimum of 5 minutes of added time.
So 5 minutes. And if Daniel Araujo, well, he's going to have to go off. Don't think he's going to be anywhere near 100%, but he cannot go off given the 3 changes. Anyway, playing on. Oh, Henderson's dropped it again. He's been fouled, though. And Blacktown were often celebrating, but the flag was up. In the end, it was actually for offside, although there was a hint of a foul there. Once again, Henderson, very rarely you'll see him spill it when coming off his own line, but it's the pressure. Things not going to plan for Olympic, and Araujo going to go down again. And this is going to mean Blacktown, well, certainly, he may be out there anyway. But only 10 fit players to contend the last 4.5 minutes. In fact, they are going to take him from the ground, so they'll play a man down. Still changes up their sleeve, Olympic, but Abassad, no sign of making any of those. Henderson tries to pick out Sanchez. Kakaris. Junior Ant. Plays through the middle. Can he pick one out? Pavicevic is there. Made good connection with the header, but always going over the bar. That would have been a blow if Blacktown were to lose their point. So is there one final twist in this game? A goal that certainly will take all 3 points home for either side. Blacktown coming into this one, won their last 4 in a row. Olympic haven't won in their last 4 matches. They'll make that 5 in the league, 6 if you include that FFA Cup game, if it stays the same here. Madonis, more important touch again from Lynch. Man of the match, I think you've got to have him in the discussion as this man, Campbell. Very good again for Blacktown. Askew Nice touch. Can he pick a pass or going to go for goal himself? Askew or Henderson. He was scrambling, but ball always going wide. Game opening up at the death. Is there a goal in Olympic? They're going to get a free kick here and a card coming too. Collins will go in the book. And he has opened the door ever so slightly to Olympic. Well, this would surely win it. Tom Whiteside. He's an aerial threat, so too Pavicevic. It was a corner that got their opening goal. Can the set piece deliver again? Tense stuff all of a sudden at Lilies. Can Olympic find a winner? Jostling in the area from both sides. Go to the far post this time. Whiteside the target. I'll get another corner. Watch for the run of Pavicevic. Stamatellis. The tall timber too. Go near post this time. All Blacktown there. Not dealt with. Whiteside keeps it alive. Pavicevic already won today off the line. Well, they are just holding on Blacktown. Down to 10. They deserve to take something away. They haven't had their luck, but they're riding their luck at the moment. Prendergast hasn't got there. Bouncing around. Oh, how didn't they score? Stamatellis had a chance. Sanchez as well. Well, Sydney Olympic. Things aren't falling their way, and I'm unsure how they didn't find a winner. And Blacktown will breathe a massive sigh of relief. There it is. They will share the points, probably justice in the end, but both sides have opportunities to take all 3 points home. It was Blacktown that hit the bar and the post before finally breaking through, and Radovan Pavicevic made it 1-1. Goal from the set piece, and we saw just about everything in those last 5 or so minutes. In the end, though, it ends all square. Blacktown remain undefeated in their last 5 league games, while Sydney Olympic, they remain without a win in their last 5 league games. In the end, honours even. Blacktown City FC 1, Sydney Olympic 1.